Hi, Algebra 1. This is quarter 4, week 4, lesson 1. Okay, today we're going to kind of review a topic that we've done in previous quarters already. So you guys might remember Mr. Slope Guy. Okay, this will help you in figuring out if the slope is positive or negative. Okay, so this one says it's positive. You can tell because his eye tells you which one it's going. And this one is negative. Okay. Then there's also undefined if it's straight up and down, or a zero slope if it's just like a flat line that's straight side to side. Okay. So this will help you. Maybe you can draw Mr. Slope Guy on your own paper somewhere in your notes. Okay. So Mr. Slope Guy tells us if we have a positive or a negative line. That will be very helpful. The definition of slope is the change in the y values divided by the change in the x values. So you remember rise over run. All right, and the formula, let me write it so you guys can have it. Slope is usually represented by a small m letter. So m equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Okay, so write that down. And let's go to an example. Okay, so slope is typically used when we are talking about straight lines or when we see it on a real graph. Okay, so let's do one. It says, look at this graph and find the slope by counting the rise and the run. So I'm going to just recreate that graph here. Okay. So here's a point. There's a point. There's a point, and there's a point. So I'm just lightly connecting these points. And if it's a line, that means it has arrows on the end. Okay. So here's our example. It says, look at the graph and find the slope by counting the rise over the run. Okay, so let's start here. We always start from the left and then we move to the right. So we always start on this side and move this way. So it looks like the slope is kind of going down a hill, right? So we start here and we count how many units is the rise. And the rise could be a positive or a negative, okay? So be careful. So it's 1, 2, it should have been 3. Oopsie, this should be up here. Okay, forget about that one. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. So this will be a -3. And then to the right, 2. So, is that correct? Yeah. So our slope is going to be m equals -3 over 2. And I know my writing is not super perfect because I'm writing all backwards and stuff. So this is our slope, -3 over 2. So make sure you write that in your notes. We'll go on to example 2. Okay, so sometimes you're given word problems instead of pictures. So for example 2, it says, if you have these 2 points, find the slope between them. So here's our points, 2, comma, -3, and 4, comma, 5. Okay? So write this down in your notes. It's very important to take notes because it will help you on the assignment. Okay, and we're going to use our slope formula. Okay, remember y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That is the formula we are using. Okay, so I'm going to label these values. Okay, here's our x1, y1, x2, y2, and we're going to plug them in just like we need to. Our y2 goes first, so we have 5 subtract -3. Okay, now there's a subtract and a negative right side by side. Remember what that means. If it's a double negative, we get a positive. Then we have x2 minus x1, 4 minus 2. Okay, here's what we get. Remember, this makes a positive, so it's going to be 5 plus 3 instead of minus negative. So 5 plus 3 equals 8. 4 subtract 2 equals 2. So we have 8 divided by 2 equals 4, and this is our final answer, number 4. Okay. All right. Now we're going to do example number 3, and this will be our last example for this lesson. Okay, so this is kind of a word problem as well. On a road trip, Mariah drove 8 miles in 10 minutes. Okay. After 30 minutes, she drove 24 miles. Okay. What is the slope of the line representing her miles per minute? So, here we go. So miles will go in the numerator. Minutes will go in the denominator. We have 2 ordered pairs here, but you have to find them, okay? The 8 miles in 10 minutes, that's one of our ordered pairs. That's our very first ordered pair, okay? So we have to do our ordered pairs like this. Minutes, comma, miles. Okay? Just like that. So for our point number 1, we have 10 minutes, comma, 8 miles. And we put those in parentheses. And our point number 2 was 30 minutes. 30 minutes is the x value. And 24 miles is the y value, okay? So here's our 2 ordered pairs. And we know by the slope formula, if we have 2 ordered pairs just like this, we can plug it in. So that's what we do. We just have to use the slope formula again. M equals y2 minus y1. y2 is 24. Subtract y1, that means subtract 8. Then x2 is 30. Subtract 10. Okay, this is our setup. And now we just have to simplify. So 24 subtract 8 equals 16. 30 subtract 10 equals 20. And we just simplify again. Both the numerator and the denominator, we can take a 4 out. So 16 divided by 4 equals 4. 20 divided by 4 equals 5. And that's as simple as we can make it. So here's our answer. 4 over 5 is the slope between those minutes and miles. 4 miles every 5 minutes. Okay. All right, well, I hope this helps you guys. If you have any questions, please comment on the video or comment on the assignment post, either one. You can email me directly if you would like, but just be safe out there and have a good day.